Alrighty, here we go, guys. Game number 6 here between OGS MC and TSL's PuMa. This time we're on Tal de Reem Altar. We can see over here MC spawning in the bottom left position as our blue Protoss player, and here in the bottom right as the red Terran player, we have got TSL's PuMa. Yes, right now PuMa is ahead 3-2. MC won last game. If he wins this game, it'll be tied up, and then we'll be moving into game number 7. But if PuMa wins this game, then he takes it, and that is it. That is the whole shebang. So let's get ready to rumble. I don't know what I'm. I don't know. I do not know what I'm doing, guys. This has been a trip, I'll tell you. This is basically the first day I've been doing heavy StarCraft commentary for about a week and a half. So I'm kind of just getting back into the swing of things. Hopefully, you know, I'm trying to keep things entertaining, exciting, thrilling. Yeah, doing what I can. And yep, nothing to talk about. So let's get into this game. Now, last game actually very interesting because we did see MC, very late game. It was past the 25-minute mark in the game. MC just on the drop of a hat, double roboed, pulling out the robotics bay as well, and just churning out a whole bunch of Colossus. The big engagement that took place was just with those 2 Colossus, but those 2 alone were enough to basically lose PuMa the game. Now, I'm pretty sure MC had some more in the works as well, had he not won the game right there. But, PuMa was not prepared for that because for the bulk of the game, we saw MC gateway heavy. He was playing with Archons, Blink Stalkers, and Charged Zealots, and throwing some High Templar for a Storm or 2 here and there as well. But, again, it wasn't until past 25 minutes game time that MC was like, yeah, I guess I'll I guess I'll just go ahead and do something other than what I'm doing right now. I guess I'll just go ahead and get some Colossus. And PuMa wasn't able. There was a big buffer of units between the Archons and the Blink Stalkers, and unfortunately PuMa wasn't actually able to engage with that because he didn't have any Vikings in preparation, and he couldn't use his bow to get up close because there was too much in the way. So yeah, a pretty interesting game though nonetheless. Now over here we can see PuMa will be fast expanding. Looks like he is going for that 1 Rax expand build. We do expect a bunker or 2 at some point to try to defend himself against any probable or possible rather pushes from MC. Scouting out inside of MC's base, he does see, look at that, second assimilator getting dropped down before that Cybernetics core finishes. I would say that is not standard, or at least it's a little bit earlier than you would normally see. Now, obviously he has the option of teching up. We've seen MC play around with Phoenixes in this series, and he's done it fairly effectively, although 2 of the games that he opened with Phoenixes he lost, but still he did end up winning that 3rd game, actually his first win, opening up with actually no, that's Void Ray Harass, never mind. But anyways, well, we have seen Phoenix Harass, and it's been pretty effective. But the other thing is, just because he got the second gas relatively early doesn't mean that he's teching up super hard, because he could be going for that sentry heavy quick expand build, sitting with 5 or 6 sentries, moving out with an expansion. A 3-gate expand is pretty typical. So he could be doing that as well. That's certainly a possibility. However, given the fact that he's got double Stalkers coming out, we'll be interested to see how he decides to invest those extra resources, because you can see right now he's starting to really float those extra Vespians. So we should be seeing something sometime very, very soon. Back over here, TSL's PuMa, as expected, as forecasted. We are seeing this expansion come on through for him, and again, just open up with that 1 Rax into expand, and then dropping 3 additional Racks. And here comes the Twilight Council. Very interesting. DT? Possibly. It is possible. You need to save up quite a bit of Vespian gas in order to afford DT, so it is certainly a possibility. He is just sticking with these Stalkers, getting a little bit of map control, and trying to soften up these Marines again, and this is a very, very effective tactic that we've been seeing MC do. And it's something that, if you have the micro, but you can still macro back at home and not completely screw yourself up, it's a good idea for players to play a little bit aggressively early on. I think the big problem, though, for a lot of the lower league players is that in trying something like this, they don't have the capabilities of not messing up their build back at home and not falling behind in their macro and their pro production and whatever the case may be. And actually, no, never mind. 3-gate Blink Stalker, very fast Blink Stalker tech here from MC. He will be playing very aggressively with the Stalker heavy army that he is currently even sitting on right now, sitting on just the 2. I guess that's heavy because he's only got 1 Zealot. So in comparison to the rest of his army, yes, he's Stalker heavy. Proxy Pylon getting dropped over here. Come on, guys, give me a break. And yes, it will be the 3-gate Blink Stalkers. Why is he not 4-gating? Can't really afford that as much. Investing in the Twilight Council plus that Blink research, you won't really be able to afford that extra gateway there. So we'll just be sticking with just the 3, at least for the moment. Now, Marines scouting around, and we'll be trying to move right into this tower, and he's going to get it. Wow, look at that. Very nice there from PuMa. So PuMa with his Marines scouting out that proxy pylon, seeing Stalker Heavy as well. This will allow him to prepare. And what is he going to do in response? He's worried about DT. I would be too. Did he scan the main? No, he didn't, but he is worried about DT, and rightfully so. Another bunker coming out, but now that he knows this is coming, the issue is that, you know, PuMa can respond in time. He has time, ample time to pull down these SCVs and just drop some mass repair. Now we should be seeing a decent amount of Blink Stalker Micro pulling back those Stalkers that get to low health. And here we go, the Marines will be in hot pursuit, but they do not want to be away from those bunkers up against those Blink Stalkers, because really that's a no-win situation. Great thing right now that MC is doing, though, is even though he's been killed off these bunkers, the repairing cost resources. So he's hurting PuMa even without killing off any buildings, forcing him to dump resources into a repair. A couple Stalkers, looks like they will be able to take out that depot, no problem. Should be able to get that kill. A few Marines moving forward, but that's actually that's not a smart idea, because those Marines getting targeted down very quickly. So here comes the SCV scout. Looks like he has scouted that expansion. PuMa at a temporary supply block. SCV sitting idly because they are waiting for what. Oh, look at those Blink Stalkers in the main, but they will be trapped. It should be able to do a little bit of damage. A nice force field placement, splitting up and keeping some of those Marines in the back. And actually, while blinking up to the high ground, I expected him to blink down. Kind of a dangerous situation, but MC is doing quite a bit of damage. Just one more vision of the high ground. He needs to pull forward. No, actually, we'll just be retreating right now. I was going to say if he wanted to maintain that, he would have needed to at least blink one more guy up into the high ground, but still did a bit of damage. Let's take a look over here at the unit loss tab. Yes, certainly MC is ahead. Attack has been effective so far, continuing up this blink harass, and he has stopped a lot of mining here. PuMa kind of in a tough spot. Again, he's been dumping so many resources into repairs, and you know, the lack of mining time going on over here. Being cornered right now, a couple of Marauders in play as well. We do have a couple of sentries sitting over there idly, unfortunately. The Stalkers doing what they can. It looks like they have been taken out, but we'll be blinking away, trying to recharge a little bit, forcing the SCVs to pull off the line. Right now, PuMa's like, I'm fed up with these Stalkers. We have got to take them out. So the SCVs are being put to work in something other than their primary function. And oh man, those Stalkers, again, just continuing to go down. That one sitting with 6 kills. This one's sitting with 11 kills. These Stalkers certainly have paid their way right now. A few more Stalkers were warped in over here at the proxy pylon. And again, we do see MC continuing to try to do as much damage as he possibly can. Those Stalkers still sitting idly. Unfortunately, the sentries over there sitting idly as well. And one Stalker still alive with 11 kills, but that finally does get taken out right now. So PuMa really in a tough spot. He is taking a lot of losses, but wow, look at that. Because all those Stalkers got taken out inside of the main, MC's about even. Now, one thing I will say is I feel like as long as MC kept up pro production, and unfortunately I wasn't paying attention, yes, looks like he did keep up pro production throughout that entire thing, and so as such, he now does have an economic advantage. Taking a look here, we can see MC sitting in a fairly strong position. PuMa eking out a little bit in terms of minerals. That is primarily due to those mules, those dastardly mules, getting such a heavy yield there for those Terran players. Moving out, grabbing that Zelnaga. What am I getting rid of? I have such a hard time with these hotkeys sometimes. But we can see right now MC preparing for that transition right now. He's got the Charge Zealot upgrade coming on through. Another 2 gateways, so still just sticking into this gateway tech. I would like to see him move into a Robo for no other reason than to get an Observer, and then potentially move down into Colossus later on in the game. Engineering base sitting around, that was built just to get this turret because he was worried about the possibility of those DTs. Still sitting, of course, Rax Heavy, preparing for that transition right now, though, into Medivacs. We do have one Marine that will be actually scouting out for the 3rd, so he will be moving right down here. Lots and lots of upgrades coming out right now for PuMa. Stim Pack, Combat Shield, and, well, I guess that's it, but lots of production. This is what I meant to say. Wow, I had a little frog in my throat there. Focus, focus. We do have Charge upgrade coming on through, the armor upgrade coming as well. This looks to be, yes, armor level 1 upgrade coming out for MC. So both players really just starting to work into their upgrades. You may ask, why so late? We are at about 13 minutes. Well, that is obviously due to the fact that, you know, MC moved out with that early aggression. PuMa was forced to deal with that early aggression. So that kind of, you know, focuses you to work on your unit production and just defending yourself. And that puts those upgrades a little bit on the back burner. You know, I'd rather not get this level 1 upgrade and be able to get out that extra Marauder and another Marine, for example, to be able to defend yourself against the strong pushes. And that's what you'll see. Those kind of tech transitions are typically delayed when early aggression does come into play. Big scan, though, because it revealed that Templar Archive. So at this moment, PuMa knows to be prepared for High Templar, possibly even those Archons, which is actually exactly what we are seeing MC do. MC really loving those Archons. Again, being a massive unit, not being effective by those concussive shells, it forces those Marines and Marauders to keep on moving because they don't really want to take that splash damage when there are Archons in hot pursuit. Level 1 weapon upgrade coming out, also moving on into his 3rd expansion right now. Same going on over here for PuMa. PuMa will be moving into his 3rd. He is coming out finally with that Ghost Academy. I mean, pretty much these games have been more or less identical when it comes to the bulk of the army. We've been seeing pretty much PuMa go with the exact same thing every single game. The only kind of diversity we've been seeing is from MC, but I guess that's kind of fair to say for most TVP. I mean, the Terran makeup against Protoss is pretty solidified. Marine, Marauder, Ghost, Medevac, Viking. That's solid. Sometimes you see a mech style play, and actually I considered making a strategy video on a mech game that I saw just the other day. It was, you know, Blue Flame Hellion tank push, and that can be very effective, but once Colossus come into play, it becomes a little bit scarier. So yeah, you pretty much just see the bio mix from Terran players. And needs to be careful right now, though. Lifting off, and we do have a push coming from MC right now. Actually, just grabbing that Xel'Naga tower. We'll be doing a little bit of damage over here to this factory, but we do have this one Medevac lifting up these 8 Marines, and we'll be dropping here. I'm guessing he's probably just going to be going for this expansion over here. If he drops in the main, though, he could do a little bit of damage, taking out a few of these pylons pretty quickly. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Medevac, see where he decides to go. Factory sitting nice and safe there up on the high ground, hidden behind all of these trees and this floating whatever that is. Back over here, let's take a look at what PuMa's got going on. He's got a lot of ghosts coming out right now, keeping up that Medevac production. Looks like he has opted for the Planetary Fortress over here. A little bit worried about being able to defend that position, especially if he's out in the center of the map trying to get map control and trying to be a little bit aggressive. So here comes a drop, and looks like he will be actually going right into that natural expansion, saving that stem. There go the Blink Stalkers, though. Target firing down. The Medevac Marines will be staying in play, doing as much damage as they can. Unfortunately, though, without that target fire, there are so few Marines, they weren't able to actually kill off many units. Should have really maybe even focused on just target firing down a few workers, although that takes a pretty hefty amount of micro, especially when you're dealing with those Shard Zealots swooping right on in. Being able to target those probes becomes a little bit difficult, but that is something that is suggested if you are going for Econ Harass and the opponent does respond with an attack, and you realize no really chance of escape and no chance of winning, to just target fire, attack fire down those workers and get basically as much damage in as possible. Blink Stalkers moving across the center of the map, trying to take out anything that may be sitting at any of these Xel'Naga towers right now. Unfortunately, though, for MC, unfortunately for PuMa, just sitting with this one tower, so they're not really giving him much indication as to what's going on, because any push from PuMa would be coming south of that vision right now. He really needs to grab this tower to give him a really good idea as to what PuMa is doing when. Level 2 infantry upgrades coming out right now for PuMa. Also, just about finished that level 1, still churning out some nice macro going on from both players. We do have that Psionic Storm, so still will be sitting Archon heavy. He's also very Zealot heavy as well, but wants to get that Psionic Storm so that he can lay down a Storm or two every time before he changes out an Archon. Blink Stalkers walking right into a Planetary Fortress, doing an about face, and then walking into a bio army. So see you later, Blink Stalkers. Let's get taken out without hesitation there by PuMa. MC losing a few of those. That is sad indeed. Over here, very Archon heavy again. He's got some Stalkers coming into play. So same composition as we saw him last game. The early to mid game, going with those Charged Zealots, Archons, and those Blink Stalkers, and just a few High Templar for some Storms before changing into Archons as well. One High Templar sitting with quite a bit of energy. That's going to be able to get down. That's going to be able to get down at least 2 Storms, and that's certainly very, very nice. Needs to make sure he tries to get with these units while they are all bunched up. So PuMa sitting with that big ball does want to be careful. He needs to pull forward actually with those Ghosts to land those EMPs and or snipes on those High Templar that are sitting in the front of MC's army over here. So both armies kind of dancing around the middle right now. Neither player really wants to engage. It's really, you have to be so careful. It really comes down to who can land the snipes or EMPs and who can land the feedbacks or storms, and that's really what it's all about now. Let's take a look. It looks like PuMa will be the aggressor right now, moving up to that tower. Is he going to retreat and stick at that tower, or will we continue up this push? We do have the bulk of MC's army sitting over here as well. There's the scan. This is a really good opportunity, catching MC's units out of position. Some big EMPs, taking a little bit of storm, but stimming back. Now he EMP'd the heck out of those sentries with no energy right now. We'll be able to catch up and do so much damage. No concussive shell still, though. Interested to see that he's not doing that. That helps with kiting quite a bit, but still lacking the concussive shell. Look at him just tear through this army. The Archons, though, pushing forward. They do a lot of damage. and also MC is really close to reinforcements. He's got some pylons very near this battle. Now we are going to see PuMa still try to target fire down those stalkers, doing as much damage as possible, and some reinforcements here as well, and this is looking a little scary for MC right now. He will be on his back foot because PuMa is continuing to push forward. We do have a couple High Templars sitting over here, and it looks like we have those few charged zealots that should be enough to shoo back this, and big feedback going down. Very nice, dropping that ghost. Pushing forward, walking right into a storm as well. These units are very weak, and another storm. So with some well-placed storms and a nice feedback, looks like MC did manage to push this back. PuMa needs to be careful about walking into these Archons. This one is pretty low health, but this one at full shields will really do a good job at tearing through these units. And again, I'm surprised at the no concussive shells. That would help him against those zealots at the very least. Even with that charge upgrade, once that charge is on cooldown, you can kite around for a little bit. And it's such a low investment in terms of resources. I mean, taking a look, 50-50, that's not a lot to invest to be able to kite around a little bit. But I'm guessing, you know, maybe he realized that MC is going to charge zealots, and just because it is only advantageous during that cooldown, maybe that's why he's not even bothering and just using those extra 50-50 to get out an extra unit. So back over here, looks like we do have a drop coming through, also scouting around with those Marines. MC is pushing across the map right now, trying to get control of these towers. He looks like he will finally kill off the unit sitting over here at this tower. Oh, well, is he going to let that? There we go. I was going to say, don't let that Marine just go to town on your units there. And while walking straight towards the expansion, PuMa was trying to move here into his 4th, and that's going to be forced to be canceled right now. Hopefully he does actually cancel that instead of losing it. Ooh, boy. Now we do have that's probably because he was paying attention over here, trying to chase down the stalkers. Again, something that would be easier with concussive shells. Zealots swooping on up, taking care of that. We do have 3 medevacs dropping over here, and this is dangerous. MC could very well lose this. I do not think he's going to be able to maintain this Nexus. Looks like that will get taken out, so see you later, Nexus. Very nice drop. He should just lift off after this and head back home. The damage is dealt. There you go. Late game, StarCraft 2, take out expansions, win the game. That's really what it is all about. If you can take out expansions, you're in a solid position. Now, keep in mind, though, this has just been a trade-off. Both players managed to take out their opponent's expansion, so no one really has that clear, distinct advantage over the other. And yes, if you take a look at the resources lost, they are almost about equal right now, interestingly enough. We have another attempt at drop going down, but that will be taken care of very quickly. A few stalkers as well as zealots over there will drop that medevac. There we go. Medevac does get taken out. A couple SCVs chilling out over here, Marine chilling out over here as well. What is going on? Are they having a party over here? Is there a bar mitzvah or something like that? I know a bar mitzvah isn't really a party. Well, I guess it is. It's a party to celebrate, yeah, that thing that goes on. 2 medevacs moving straight up and will be circumventing. They want to walk right around the vision of those Zelnaga towers and try to drop into the main. Still the factory. Actually, we'll be moving over to see if this expansion is getting redropped, and yes, it is. This gives him the knowledge to maybe drop again if he so chooses to do so. Back over here, level 3 upgrade coming out for the Terran infantry of PuMa right now. How are his armor upgrades? He is sitting at 2 right now, 2 armor. And what do we have for MC? MC is 3-3 right now. He might be starting those shields too. Shields are typically the last thing that you end up getting. Although, since he is Archon heavy, you know, it would be worthwhile to invest in those shields, most certainly. But definitely weapons and armor is what you always see first. So PuMa trying to keep up this drop harass. These Blink Stalkers are ready for it, though. I'm a little concerned for these 2 medevacs. There you go, Blink. See you later. 2 quick shots, and those medevacs get taken out. A couple of zealots moving forward. We'll be taking out that Marine, and here comes another drop right now, but walking into storms. That cannon doing a bit of damage and a nice feedback. Doing a lot of damage to that medevac that will force him to push back right now. We've got a lot of ghosts here leading the way, and some big snipes going down onto those High Templars. Some nice feedbacks in response, though, not landing a bunch of EMPs. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 EMPs in there, and those charged zealots. Look, we've got some Immortals in the mix as well to try to deal with those Marauders. Blink Stalkers pushing forward, and this is not looking too good right now for PuMa, but PuMa stimming up again and will actually be pushing back. We should see another warp in, though, from MC, and this will allow him to continue to engage. Getting rid of all those zealots are pretty much what saved PuMa there, because once those zealots are up within range, you get absolutely torn to shreds, but he was able to basically tear right through that, and once it's just stalkers, that was a little too much for MC to handle, so he decided to pull back, retreat, get some reinforcements over here. We do have right now, MC is scouting out this expansion. Let's see if he decides to do anything about it. The big thing, though, is that, you know, MC managed to defend his expansion, not losing it a second time. That would have been completely devastating. MC also come out with another expo as well. This will put him ahead of PuMa. So unless PuMa tries to get up another expansion or tries to take one of those out, he could be in a little bit of a bind right now. We've got MC walking across the map. What is he looking to have for composition? Just one Archon right now, sitting on 8 High Templar, my gosh, and 13 Blink Stalkers. Coming out with a few more Zealots. PuMa just sticking with that Bio Ball again. Does he have much in the way of, no, well, he doesn't need Vikings. I'm sorry, does he have much in the way of Ghost is what I meant to say. Just with the one Ghost, he's got another Ghost coming out, and that's actually a little bit scary because PuMa does certainly need a bit more than that. You know, he really needs that utility unit to deal with whatever he's up against. If he's up against Colossus, he needs those Vikings. If he's up against this, he needs those Ghosts. So there we go, coming out with a few more Ghosts. A big concern, though, is he's running very low on resources. I mean, the only mining base he has right now is up here, and that is way oversaturated. Hopefully he gets a few of those SCVs down there, and just a small group of Zealots is going to just go to town over here on this expansion, and that's a little bit concerning right now. So MC, with this extra expansion, is in a dominant position economically right now. Look at that. MC just completely tearing up this expansion right now. We'll be forcing the lift off, just working through those SCVs as well. And, you know, PuMa's mining is so terrible right now in comparison to MC, so as long as MC keeps this macro up, keeps warping in, he should be in a very good spot. Here go those charged Zealots. There was an EMP that went down on the bulk of the army, but still all these High Templar with almost full energy right there, and as soon as they catch up to that bio, it's going to be quite scary. Zealots sitting over here. We do have a drop and actually took out this expansion over there, so PuMa managing to take out an Expo, but still, I don't know, he's got to protect this planetary fortress, but here come those High Templar. Let's see if we get some big storm. No, EMP still landing the one storm over there, continuing to push. We've got a drop going on over here, but that gets taken care of very quickly by those Zealots. Very nice though. PuMa managed to take out this expansion, but keep in mind the mining right now, the mining advantage is going to MC. He's in a very, very strong spot. PuMa pretty much with no mining at all. The drop still sticking around though, but you know, with that superior mining, MC should be able to just continue to warp in like wave after wave and take care of this. As long as he keeps this push going, then he should pretty much be all set. The only mining we've got going on right now for PuMa is over here. And MC sitting over here with these bases. PuMa's in a terrible position. He really needs to get his economy situated, and huge storms going down on the remainder of the army. See you later. Just completely torn through. The units are still in the main, but PuMa calling the GG because he realizes he's lost the economy game, and that means you lose the game. So there we go, guys. We are tied up right now 3-3 in this best-of-7 series. We'll be moving on to game number 7 in just a moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this has been entertaining for you thus far. Game number 7 coming just in a moment. Thanks again, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe. Keep watching and keep owning.